and welcome back to my channel. And if you're watching this video when it goes up on Sunday, happy Halloween. I thought it'd be really fun to make a video themed around Halloween, so I thought I'd share with you 10 spooky, creepy, supernatural books that you could curl up with at this time of year. I have got 10 picks for you, and I thought, look, you guys know how much I love Harry Potter and Twilight, so I've left them off. I've tried to go for books that you may not have picked up, give you some recommendations for the season. So I've left the very famous Halloween-y vibe books off this list, but you know I love them. I feel like by now though you've either read them or you're never going to, but I might be wrong. Let me know. So these are 10 Halloween books for you guys, and I really hope you enjoy them. Make sure you're nice and cozy, grab a hot drink, grab a blanket, curl up and enjoy these recommendations from me. Harry's here as well to help, or possibly not do anything. He's fast asleep and his paw is covering his face and he looks really cute. But I wanted to sit with my autumn fireplace, so he's just going to have to listen to me talk to you guys today. But yeah, I really hope you enjoy my Halloween book recommendations. Okay, so first up is a classic. It is one of my favourite books of all time, and that is Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. Also, can we talk about how gorgeous this edition is? I love it so much. It's so pretty. If you by any chance have missed the story of Jane Eyre, it is basically a coming of age story. It is about an orphan who goes on to become a governess. It's essentially a very dark love story. There's lots of gothic vibes, lots of Yorkshire moors, which can be very creepy. And I really think it is a definite Halloween style romance. I won't go into spoilers of why there is definitely a kind of a creepy element to it, but you will root for Jane from the first page right until the end. I absolutely love it, and it's perfect to curl up with on autumn evenings. So if you've never picked this up and you're looking for a classic read at this time of year, you can't go wrong with Jane Eyre. I am always drawn to books about witches. I don't know what it is, but I love them, especially at this time of year. So I had to share this one with you guys. You will definitely have watched the film, I'm sure, but you may not have picked up the book, and that is Practical Magic by Alice Hoffman. This is essentially about two sisters growing up in New England, so lots of autumn vibes in there as well. And they are shunned by the local community for the sense that everyone has that they are magical, and they really try to live as normal life as possible, but you can't ever escape your roots, and events transpire that kind of bring them back together and make them embrace their magical heritage, I guess. As I said, you probably know the story from the film. The book is a little bit different in terms of kind of how it's structured, but it's definitely a really good Halloween autumn read. So if you haven't picked it up and you love the film, then maybe give it a try. Next up is another classic, and that is Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. This one is essentially about a young woman who meets a man on holiday. They get married and he transports her to his vast country mansion. I mean, you know, it could happen to any of us, guys. This one is very dark and atmospheric. Again, it has a kind of slightly Bronte gothic vibe to it. So if you like Jane Eyre, I feel like you would like Rebecca, because there's also a sort of coming of age element to it. Again, it's a bit of a dark romance, and there's the woman in it, she is kind of haunted by her husband's glamorous wife who sadly died. There's a very creepy housekeeper, and you're never really sure where the story's going to go. Is it kind of supernatural? Is it not? I'm not going to give anything away, but the ending to this is amazing. And also, like, the beginning of this book, it has a great first line, and it really just transports you and sets the scene immediately. So yeah, if you are looking for a very kind of atmospheric book to curl up with, then you can't go wrong with Rebecca. Next up is a recommendation for my fellow Twilight fans, and that is A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness. This is essentially a romance between a witch and a vampire. It's set in Oxford, and it's very kind of it's a very epic story. It spans time, it spans places. It is about what happens when a witch and a vampire fall in love, which they are very much not supposed to do. And it is just brilliant. I absolutely love this series. It's, if you like kind of really kind of long epic reads, this is one for you because all the books are really long in the series, but you will absolutely love the characters in it and the romance at the heart of it. As I said, if you're a fan of Twilight and you haven't picked this up, I really think you should. I haven't seen the TV series, but I heard it's really good and I definitely need to watch that because I absolutely love these books. So yes, if you want a supernatural romance this Halloween, A Discovery of Witches is definitely one to pick up. Next up, we have another book about sisters. Perhaps sisters give off a supernatural vibes, I don't know. But this is Shirley Jackson and We Have Always Lived in the Castle. This is a kind of modern classic. It's very short, so if you want a quick, creepy read this Halloween, definitely pick this one up. It is about two sisters who live in a creepy mansion. There's definitely a theme of these books, isn't there? Creepy mansions. And basically all their family have died. And they are basically trying to kind of get over that and try and live a normal life in their vast mansion. They've got a uncle living there with them, but a cousin turns up trying to get his hands on the family money. And yes, it's very much a kind of, I guess it's kind of a dark comedy. Shirley Jackson's books are very much all about the kind of creepy side of human nature. And the ending of this will just blow your mind. So yeah, definitely if you want a kind of a quick but creepy book, then We Have Always Lived in the Castle is really good. Next up, I have a very creepy supernatural book for you, and that is The Silent Companions by Laura Purcell. This is definitely gothic Victorian creepy vibes book, perfect for Halloween. It is about a newly widowed woman who's pregnant, who is sent to kind of see out her pregnancy at an old crumbling estate. Okay, this is getting crazy now, guys. It's all about old creepy mansions, isn't it? But I obviously just love an old creepy mansion. What can I say? She discovers a diary that hints at a very dark past in the house and becomes very freaked out by a wooden figure, which is like a silent companion. And it is basically about whether supernatural things are going on or if it's basically all in her head. I'm not going to give anything away. I'm just going to let you enjoy this. So if you're looking for a ghostly kind of story this Halloween, this is definitely one to pick up. Next up, I've got a young adult pick for you guys, and that is How to Hang a Witch. This one is set in Salem, the perfect place for a Halloween book, I think we can all agree. And it is about a young girl called Sam who moves to Salem and realises that she has ancestors leading back to the Salem witch trials, and that there might be a curse that has continued to the present day. This one is perfect for Halloween. It's all about supernatural things, but also that great kind of high school misfit vibe. So it's kind of Mean Girls with witches. It was a really fun read for me, and yeah, if you're looking for a witchy vibe this Halloween, you definitely should try How to Hang a Witch. Next up is one of my favourite books of all time, and that is Station 11. It's really hard to describe this book because you kind of need to discover it for yourself, but it's essentially set in a post-apocalyptic world. There is a virus in it, so be warned if you don't want to read about viruses. But it is absolutely beautifully written, and it's very clever in how it weaves characters together. There is a travelling kind of Shakespearean symphony in the book, and it is basically about, you know, the survival of the human race. How far would you go to protect it? And the kind of the relationships and the things that happen in a post-apocalyptic world. But it is really beautifully written and very atmospheric, and it's very visual in how it's written. It's just a very, very clever, stunningly written book. So yes, if you are okay with reading about viruses this Halloween, then definitely add Station 11 to your list. My next pick is perfect if you are a fan of the Bronte sisters, because this one reimagines them as amateur detectives, and it is The Vanished Bride by Bella Ellis. It is about a woman who goes missing, and the Bronte family become intrigued and set out to investigate what has happened to her and maybe putting themselves into danger in the process. This one is a kind of gothic murder mystery. It is very creepy, dark Yorkshire Moors vibes. And as I said, it's perfect if you like the Bronte sisters. I absolutely loved how they are portrayed in this book, and you can kind of imagine that they would be somebody who would get involved in mysteries and investigations, and I think it's the start of a series, so I need to pick up the other ones. But yes, if you are looking for more of a murder mystery this Halloween, then check out The Vanished Bride. My final pick today is Flowers in the Attic by Virginia Andrews. This one would probably be a teen young adult book if it was published today. It's essentially about 4 children who are locked in the attic by their mother. This definitely is a full-on disturbing horror for Halloween. It is very grim, and there are some controversial things that happen in this book, but do you know what? It's very compelling and gripping, and yeah, I couldn't put it down when I read it. But yeah, be warned, there are some controversial elements to this book. If you know, you know. But I don't want to spoil it. Yes. Let me know if you've read Flowers in the Attic and what you thought about it. I picked this up after watching Gossip Girl because one of the characters in there mentions it's their favourite book, and I was like, I've never heard of this book. And I wasn't prepared for what I read, but it had to be there because it's very disturbing, so perfect for Halloween. And yeah, that brings us to the end of my picks today. So there we go, those were my 10 Halloween book recommendations. I really hope you enjoyed them. I'm not sure if Harry did, he's been asleep the whole time, but maybe he's just not a Halloween fan, guys. I also just wanted to remind you that my book Murder at the House on the Hill is out now, and definitely would be good for Halloween. It is set around Christmas, but there's definitely autumnal Halloween vibes to it. It's a cozy murder mystery set in the Cotswolds about a bookshop owner, Nancy Hunter, and her grandmother Jane, who decide to investigate a murder. So yes, if you're looking for a cozy murder mystery this Halloween, do check out Murder at the House on the Hill. That would be amazing. But thank you so much for watching, and let me know if you've read any of these Halloween books and what you thought of them and what you're going to be reading this Halloween. And yeah, if you enjoyed, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe for more videos from me. And yeah, hope you guys are okay and having a lovely Halloween, whatever you are doing. Take care, look after yourselves, and I'll see you very soon for a new video. Bye guys.